Hey everybody, welcome back to another video at Technically Gifted. If you're currently building the skills, whether that's school or being self-taught, to break into the space of tech, but you're not sure what each different job title or role means or how they would contribute to a company, this video is for you. Today we're going to take each role name and job title and frame it as what they would do in a theoretical ice cream software company. Now we're going to maintain a high-level overview over each subsection of tech workers or job titles, just because each job title or section really could have a video of their own. Starting off, we have software engineers. If you're building a house and if you're a construction company, these are your construction workers. They're putting together the pieces of the software that the company plans to sell or use to produce whatever income or revenue that they're looking for. In the case of our ice cream shop, let's imagine that this company makes a software for managing orders and keeping them in track. Going a little bit deeper into that, you would have web developers or UI UX developers working on what the software actually looks like. This could be a website, it could be a downloaded application, and this would be, in our case, what workers at an ice cream shop would use and the buttons they would click physically on the computer to input these orders and begin managing them with whatever software we're building. Now, on behind the scenes things, you have your back-end engineers. These are the people that worry about the data that's inputted. They take that data and they store it somewhere. Typically in today's world, that's AWS, meaning it's in the cloud. We don't know where it goes. It goes somewhere. Realistically, it's just in a data center owned by Amazon. You know, in the case of some companies, depending on the size or what they're trying to accomplish, you also have full stack engineers, and they'll kind of tackle both of these roles simultaneously. It's becoming more and more popular. As you see, a lot of freelance web devs will actually label themselves full stack developers because some projects require a front end and a back end, meaning front end engineering experience and back end engineering experience. Now that we know how the software is built and who builds it, you need people to manage the computers that we're building these things with and the networks that we're using to communicate with each other. You know, today we're in a pretty big remote world, and that's where IT, information technology specialists, come in. They provision the computers to each engineer or worker in the company overall, doesn't matter what role. They also worry about things like VPNs, making sure all the connections are secure so that nothing that the company does gets leaked or nothing gets exploited from the standpoint of peer-to-peer communication while developing anything. Yeah, it's funny because IT and software engineers, if you just tell the normal person, they'll lump it together. But you know, they're completely different roles. One is more building code and one is more maintaining the computers and networks that that code is built with. To frame it back in the analogy of the construction company, you have your software engineers and your other engineers building the actual house or the whatever building we're trying to make. And then your IT specialists are worrying about the tools that they're using. This could be hammers, bobcats, cranes, anything. The next area you want to focus on are the data analysts or data engineers. These people take the data from customers. This could mean like use cases, how are they using our product, and then building some sort of analytical model with them. This could mean building charts or visualizations. And what this does is allow the company to see how they're performing and what customers are valuing. A lot of the times this means data analysts are proficient with SQL and database knowledge. Basically just an easy way to pull and manage data and query it, look through it, and pull out what you need. A new wave of this is machine learning engineers, which almost goes hand in hand. You'll see them kind of taking this data or other data in the company and building predictive models around it, whether it's projecting revenue for a quarter or projecting how a new product will perform once it's released based on other use cases. Machine learning engineering is kind of new to my knowledge, and it's also a way bigger spear than I'm giving it right now. So there's definitely some room for expansion on that. Now moving on to hardware engineers. Let's say that our ice cream shop software is growing exponentially, and now people are asking for us to house units like handheld devices that stores the software and works perfectly so they can sell their ice cream on the go. You'll probably need something like a hardware engineer. Now in the event, you could probably just use an iPhone app or something, but let's assume that we're going to build processors, RAM, anything that it needs to build a computer in-house because for whatever reason we're like that. And this is why you have a hardware engineer. They basically worry about how the processors are made, how it interacts with the RAM, the memory on board, how a computer will perform. You know, I think one of the great examples of a company that does this well is Apple. I'm not sure if they outsource it or not, but all I know is they are moving really fastly on ARM chips and have started to kind of take over the laptop industry with their performance. The chips that they use are developed by hardware engineers, people that know what they're doing on a very, very low level. And then next, you have sales. This is pretty self-explanatory, as sales is pretty ubiquitous across all regions of work and kind of corporate or really anything. You need people to sell your product. You need people to sell your software. But it helps when you're in the tech space to be kind of technically inclined, because you will have customers that are going to ask more technical questions depending on what you're actually selling. I know for the company I work for, Twilio, we actually sell to other companies' developers, so you'll get a lot of questions on developer experience and how easy it is to use, and questions like that are easier to handle when you have some technical knowledge and experience with coding, or not even coding, but just terminology. But in short, your salespeople are the ones that are going to go out, knock on doors, kiss babies, shake hands, and get your product out into the world and kind of show how great you can be and what effect you can make. Now that we've gone over all of these people, from software engineers to data analysts and engineers, machine learning engineers, hardware engineers, salespeople, you need somebody to manage all these people. Now, this could be in the form of engineering managers or project managers. Speaking to the more technical roles, you'll have an engineering manager that'll be in place. A lot of them will say they're cheerleaders. They're not. They are there to delegate and split up the work and make sure that it gets done in a timely manner. It's a very underrated role that you would think you don't need a lot of technical skills for, because you think, oh, just do this, do that, do that. But no, you have to be able to communicate with your team and also collaborate with other teams and be able to come to common ground with other teams so that your products mesh and work together perfectly with no hiccups or wasted effort. Under the same scope, you have product managers. They'll work alongside engineering managers or other engineer technical type roles, and these people represent your product. If you are working in the case of our ice cream software, your product manager will also go with salespeople or give salespeople the information about the product, about how it works, or like what functionalities we have coming out and the timeline for it to come out. And it honestly is like a PR person for your product. They make sure it looks pretty. They hide all the bad things. Maybe like you got caught up on a feature. They're gonna take the brunt of that. Oh, why is this feature taking so long? Once again, very underrated role. You don't need as many technical skills for this. You need to be a great communicator though, and be able to really dumb things down for people. So sometimes it does help, but it's not necessary. And then lastly, you have your recruiters. These are the people that actually find you workers within a tech company. These are the most bubbly, excited to go talk to other people, workers that you'll have. A lot of the times you'll see them at conferences, on LinkedIn, reaching out to a lot of people. They'll go to college campuses. This is a fun job, I imagine. I have never done it, but every recruiter I've talked to looks like they're having fun and loving life. So I can only imagine if you're that type of extrovert that loves helping other people, this is a great role to do that, especially for tech. So I hope you got something from this video and understand a little bit more what each engineer or person in tech does. As always, feel free to comment. I may have glazed over some things or said something wrong. Feel free to correct me. I have no issue being wrong. We're here to spread knowledge and leave an impact for people trying to make a change in their lives or start a new career path. As always, please comment, like, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next video.